Evening, everybody. It's 5:30 on Monday the 18th, and this is your closing comment. It is video number 1367. It was a very interesting day today. As I mentioned in this morning's video, we were strongly higher in all of the futures, and of course, that's the way we opened. Although the futures had been up 350, they were only up about two and a quarter at the open, and there really wasn't much in the way of news to do that, but they did in fact sell off. But the market started to the upside and actually was up as much as almost 330. I believe the number was 326, and was hanging up there. After Friday's gains, it looked pretty decent. But then it started to give way a little. And there was a report on Bloomberg that Apple had decided to cut back on expansion and hiring. And that started the market down. In fact, Apple really led that entire group down. We got down to about down 225 or so. We rallied back all the way to about down 50, and then the last half hour we finished down 216.65 or 0.7%. Nasdaq also followed down 92.37.81. S&P down 32.84. The Russell was down about $6, which was 0.34, and the only thing up on the day were the Dow Jones transports. They were up 69.20, or 0.5%. They were up almost three times that amount at the high. This morning I told you about Goldman Sachs reporting a big beat. The stock was up about $12 at that point. It had closed yesterday at 293. It did in fact get all the way up to 311 and a quarter, and while it finished up on the day at 301, up 713, that was still less than half of what it was up at the high, and it did close about 7/8 of the way down on the range. After the close, we had earnings from IBM, which there were several people late last week talking about how great it had been, and how it had been a great place to hide, kind of old technology. And in point of fact, the stock in the end of May was 125. It closed yesterday at 139.92. On the earnings, which were beat both top and bottom line, the stock did get up to 141.55. But as the call began and people started to analyze things like the margins for the company, the stock immediately turned back down. It got down as low as 131.70. So 142 and a half, 141 and a half to 131.70. Currently in extended hours trading 132.40 right now, and that's down about $7.52 or about 5.33%. The chart on the screen is the oil, and we talked about this last week. I've been talking about it, this area of between 95 and 90 as a major area of support. We violated that on Thursday, going right through the 200-day MA and then popping right back up and closing down slightly on the day that day, down about $0.50, but way up on the range, followed by Friday's move up on the day and the range. The move for the week last week was still down 6.8%, and we made most of that up today. We closed at 102.60 with a high of only 102.80, so right on the high and up about 5%. The whole complex was up. Nat gas was up 46 cents to 7.47. Gold, on the other hand, tried to rally, got up to 1722 this morning, closed 1710, uh, up only about $6. Also in the rally but fall off was Bitcoin, trading as high as 22,800, which is a far cry from where it's been in the 19,000 area. But it closed 21,620, up 430, or about 2%, while at the same time, Ethereum closed up 205, or 16%. So there's a bit of a divergence there. I've written about it, I've talked about it. I favor Ethereum over any of the others because it's used in commerce and the NFT market is built on their blockchain, but that's about it. The dollar was down about 68 cents, back to 107.23. You know, it was as low as 106.75. We've seen these kind of 1 and 2 day retracements. I think there may be more here with it, but I have a wait and see attitude. And the one position that we added today, we bought some TLT, which is the 20-year bond. I'm keying off the 30-year bond, which at the low today, I came in wanting to buy it, and then I thought, they were giving me a gift by opening it down a little. We bought some calls at $1.15, and when it cracked to the downside, we added 50% more at between 97 cents and a dollar, and they closed $1.05. The bonds had been down almost $2, and they finished down 3/4. So if we're seeing all of these slowdowns, you know, slow down in some of the banking, big slowdown in housing. That's something I wanted to mention also. Um, the NAHB sentiment, home builder sentiment, worst decline in 37 years that it's been in existence. Expectations were for 66, which would have been a 1 point decline. It actually came in at 55, down 12. This is another one of those things where 50 is neutral, 51 is expansion, 49 is contraction. So we're still in the expansion, but it doesn't look like for very long. The rate of change is just too dramatic, and that the a bunch of the housing stocks were up this morning. This came out at 10 o'clock, and they immediately turned lower. So, all right, everyone, that's it. I'm trying to keep these short. I'll be back first thing in the morning, and I'll give you a free opening comment.